Awesome. Welcome everyone to Cisco Canada's virtual kitchen show. Well, we haven't talked a lot about this category we're going to talk about here in a second, and we wanted to talk about it because it's definitely an area for us to really help you grow sales in an area that maybe is forgotten through these times. And we're super happy to have Tetley on the call today and on our show. And we have a pretty cool expert on the show that we're going to talk about here in a second, talk with in a second here. That I really want to talk about this area because we tend to always focus on the center of the plate or talk about food ideas and recipe ideas, that we want to be able to talk about this category because it's definitely one that you can make a lot of money at. And is definitely forgotten, especially coming into the summer months, when we tend not to think about this area as well, just even through the seasonal aspects of it. So today we're going to talk with Jen Dickens. I'm going to bring Jen up here in a sec. Let's go find Jen. And there she is. Hi, Jen. Welcome to our
Hi.
show.
Hey, thank
Awesome.
you for having me.
Excellent. Well, we're going to talk about tea today, and I'm excited
Yeah.
about it. I know people might go, "Really? You're going to talk about tea?" But I tell you, what Jen's going to tell us today is going to blow your mind on the ability for us to grow sales and help you make money in this category. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk a little bit about tea, how important it is, what you can do with it, and really how you can make a lot of money out of an area that's not a huge cost factor to you. So, Jen, welcome, and thanks again for being on our show.
No, it's my pleasure. I'm
So,
excited to
so
be
let's
here.
let's get right into it. Let's talk tea. So
Awesome.
what
Yeah.
is the let's talk about the profitability. Let's get right into the profitability of tea and talk about how you were mentioning yesterday on a call when we were working on the pre-show is
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about menu. Where is it where do we see it on menus? Is it something that we can
Yeah.
have on our patios? All these things. I mean, let's talk tea.
Yeah. So we are seeing tea really get relegated to the bottom of the back page of a menu with other beverage selections, but tea really should, um, it's a category in your menu that has 94 to 98% profit margin. So a gross margin like that just doesn't really exist elsewhere in your menu. So bring it forward, make it a priority, make sure that people see it as an option and mention it to people. Um, my work at Tetley is really on both retail and food service side. And in retail, what's happened in the last few months, I mean, even in the past year, tea is growing at 10%.
Mhm.
This past year, Tetley's driving that growth, growing even faster. In the latest 12 weeks is really driving that, um, COVID times. But there's like a new addiction to tea now that's happening in people's lives. And so when we all get re-released out into the
Mhm.
world,
Yeah.
that addiction and that behavior is not going to go away, but restaurateurs are going to be used to not mentioning tea, not bringing it up. They say, oh, no one ever asks me about that, but you're not asking them about that or highlighting it, showing the brands that are most beloved to Canadians, and showing the varieties of tea that you offer. So showing
Mhm.
that combination of the most trusted brand in Canada, which is Tetley Tea. Also, we've increased our level of trust with Canadians during this time by 5 points. So we've consecutively been the most trusted brand in tea, but this year, even more so due to COVID. People kind of run back to those familiar brands that they know and trust in unprecedented times. So, yeah, bring that, leverage the brand equity that we've built through our consumer promotions and consumer communications through the retail side. People love Tetley. Sometimes people will believe that they're not going to get Tetley at a restaurant and bring their own. So
Really?
that's a loss, right?
I,
Oh, you
I
hear it
actually have seen that.
all the time.
I've actually
That people
seen
order hot water and,
yeah.
covertly are dipping their Tetley in. So yeah, it's still a pain to get your server to bring hot water to the table while you're losing that sale to Tetley Food Service because you're not offering Tetley tea in your restaurant. So make sure it's a brand that's known and trusted. We are newer to food service than some of the incumbents who many restaurants carry. We've only been in the game for under 10 years. And so, yeah, just making sure that now that we have all kinds of options for you to carry, that you're serving the brand that consumers trust the most. And they know these blends. They are expert blended teas from the UK, and they're awesome.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that I'm assuming also when you look at this is that we're talking to not only restaurants but coffee shops in different areas that they can leverage your brand within their own coffee shops and stuff like that. And I guarantee it is that they are hopefully using that brand statement of what Tetley brings of the product, that the quality that stands behind it, but leveraging it, and restaurants doing the same thing on their menu, logo, branding, all that stuff is important to be able to apply it.
We've seen the success in some coffee chains. We've had a Canadian coffee chain years ago, switched over to Tetley from another brand, started prioritizing Tetley on their menu boards, and really made it front and center in terms of getting the brand in people's faces, kind of these merchandising racks, making sure that they were visible from when people were ordering, and ensuring that people knew that they were going to get Tetley when they ordered tea. Their menu mix of tea changed from 5% prior to Tetley to 11% once they switched over to Tetley. So again, increasing their profit margin, because a 12-15 cent tea bag selling for $2.50 plus, it's an incredible way to get to that that margin that you want, even though you have to be consistent and sell a few more cups, but the actual margin that you can realize, if you think about it, that penny profit adds up. And so the other thing, we actually, when we were looking for some other new business, we ran a study on coffee shops, and we said, of those who carry Tetley, what percentage of people ordered tea in the past 3 months versus those that didn't carry Tetley? And the delta, the difference between those was phenomenal. So when we surveyed over 1,000 people, and those that had been to a coffee shop that served Tetley were far more likely. Like in one case, it was like 63% of visitors who had said they had visited that coffee chain in the past 3 months had ordered tea. And so there's just something to be said for taking the brand equity that we've created and making it your own, so you can sell more tea and make more penny profit and ultimately win.
Yeah, you know what? It's very interesting to say that, and like I said, tea before is just not an area right now that we've been focused on in our industry. Let's talk a little bit about tea and takeout. Is it possible to really have tea as a takeout item on your menu right now?
Yeah, I mean, there are a few breakfast places that carry Tetley that are offering tea and coffee on their skip the dishes menus. So bringing it in a tray and making sure it's in a thermal cup that contains the heat. There are some people who are just really wanting to treat themselves and like, hey, bring me tea. There's frontline workers who are ordering tea in this way, just wanting to not have to leave, to not have to change their PPE and all of that. But yeah, just wanting to enjoy a cup of tea. So make sure that you're there for them in that way, because I don't know. I personally am on a health journey, and I've been told, well, my naturopath wants me to give up coffee 100%. I still enjoy a small cup first thing in the morning, but the rest of the day is all tea. So if I'm going to be drinking anything, it's going to be tea for the remainder of the day.
Yeah. Is it, and that's a really good thing. And I think a lot of people, do you see sales or do you see consumption of tea go down through the summer months? Or is it something that,
Tea is far less seasonal than you
yeah,
would expect. It has a very small seasonal blip, but it's drunk throughout the summer months. It's a habit. It's a ongoing habit that people have, and it's a ritual during their day, whether it's summer or winter. I mean, in the winter, I find myself even more drinking hot tea
mm,
to stay warm. I found that during lockdown, like it
yeah,
was nonstop, constant. But yeah, it's people still are buying tea now and sometimes chilling it in their fridge. Tetley came out with new cold infusions tea that you actually put into cold water. That's a retail product, not a
yeah.
food service. But you know, people want to infuse their water and get the benefits of these natural plants, and yeah, enjoy this natural product. Like it's a plant-based food. It's right on trend. It's healthy. There's so many things that as a brand, due to Health Canada regulations, we're not allowed to say about the health benefits of tea.
Mhm.
But Google will find, and you'll find
Yeah.
that there's so many benefits to black tea, even green tea, and all the herbal
Wait a
variants that
second.
functional
Black tea
benefits.
has benefits?
Oh yeah, it's from a Camellia sinensis plant. I am like, you know, there's some things that are taboo. I can't say all the good things. I'll just say Google it. Just
Okay.
just just check out the Google, and yeah, there are many benefits for the
So,
heart.
some of
For
those can you share some of those ingredients in those top teas that Tetley has? Like,
oh
um,
yeah,
yeah. So, what are some of those ingredients that are in there? Because I find that kind of fascinating. You were talking about dandelion weeds
yeah,
here earlier this morning.
yeah.
I
We were.
want to talk about some of those ingredients because I find they're. How do you blend them together to get that right tea? Like, how is that done? What's that process look like?
Yeah. We have a team of master blenders that sit in the UK. And so what will happen is we will come up with our marketing team in Canada, mostly Tetley's senior brand manager, Joyce O'Connor, will come up with a concept of what we would like to launch, because we kind of figure out what Canadians want.
Hmm.
And then we send the concept over to the UK, and we have master blenders there. Some are experts only in black tea. So Tetley Orange Pico gets blended by the black tea experts. But we have other experts that are experts in green and also specifically in botanicals or herbal teas. So something like this, you have a boost that your
I got a
daughter
boost.
Maya um,
Is my
was
boost?
sharing with you. Yeah, so I love the green screen effect on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
that's a
green.
green
That's
tea.
why.
This is why it's disappeared.
Yeah.
But here's a herbal boost. And so, yeah, this one has all kinds of beneficial ingredients. So the flavor is peach, ginger, and dandelion. So it contains dandelion root, which is like a detox tonic. It
No,
helps
this isn't the
with,
same dandelion in your yard. Just I found that out this
no, this
morning.
is, yeah, yeah. This is cultivated
Okay.
dandelion that we buy to put in our
Making
teas.
sure people will be out there pulling dandelions. Going out.
Yeah, you want to make sure that your soil is like extra virgin goodness before you're pulling your own dandelions and eating them. But there are serious benefits to consuming this. So yeah, not only do our super teas, so this does come in a food service format, which
Yeah.
I'm all backward here. So we have all of our super teas. This one
Yeah,
has been very popular during COVID.
I would
Immune
imagine. Yeah.
with lemon, echinacea, ginger, and 20% of your daily no, 20% of your daily zinc, the mineral zinc that is helpful for the immune systems. Health Canada allowed us to say when they approved this, zinc contributes to the normal function of the immune system.
Yeah.
We can't say too much, but we do have a warning on this pack. because it says do not exceed 2 servings per day, and do not consume this with other supplemental foods like other zinc supplements. So
zinc is not
it's
good
potent stuff. Like, we're not joking. We're not messing around here. This is real mineral delivery, and Health Canada is treating it like it's a supplement. So if you want to increase your zinc, it's been a very popular mineral to increase during times of COVID, to help just increase your natural immunity to viruses and bacteria. So that's one. I'm not really supposed to say that. Then we've got B6, which is a factor in energy metabolism. And the word boost was kind of the cue to, it's going to help boost, give you a boost. Maybe if you are trying to limit your caffeine and you like herbal tea and you're not crazy about, maybe someone doesn't want the green tea boost with berries. This is a herbal alternative. It's delicious peachiness. It's juicy peach and yummy. There's an antiox. So we do have all of these in this lovely food service format. It's a lot of our competitors are 6x20s. These come in 6x25s, string and tag. Backward. String and tag, foil envelope. So yeah, you just rip
okay.
that
So let's talk
open.
about that. Yeah, let's talk about that. I'm geeking out about tea here, but everyone's gonna be like, I can't believe you spent this long talking about tea. We talk about tea all day if you want. But I want.
I could talk about tea for days. Yeah.
I was gonna say we could probably talk with you about tea for days. There, she's having a sip. But I was gonna ask you about that because there's so many. And I'm going to say you could probably Google it as well on tea. Do you pour the hot water in for let's go through the process of the best tea cup. I got to know
this. See, there was like a recent social media, I don't know. Did you see that? There was like this crazy scandal about Americans showing Americans how to make British hot tea. Okay, and they did it in the microwave. And they used like tang crystals in their tea. And it was just like all so mind-blowing. People were enraged because they were basically communicating in a video. I think it was TikTok. The source of all of our kids' information these days.
Exactly.
So my daughter saw it, my 13-year-old, and just saying, did you see this like crazy video of people making British hot tea? So honestly, there is a level of personalization. There's not one specific way to make it perfect, but I can give a few tips.
Yes,
let's go there. Talk about what restaurants do wrong in some cases.
Let's tell them so people know.
Well, you want to make sure that your water, if you're serving like hot black tea or herbal, that your water is boiling. It's like right fresh and hot. Pour it over the tea bag and let it steep about 3 to 5 minutes. Like if you want a nice bold cup of tea. So green is a different scenario. Green tea, a lot of people don't like because it's not being served properly. So green tea needs to be served at 80 degrees and should only be steeped for 80 seconds. If you serve it in just off-boil water, if you steep it for longer than the 80 seconds, if you're going to 2 minutes plus, it is not going to taste good. It's going to taste bitter, and you're going to be turned off and say, I don't like green tea, which is a lot of people. So to get the smoothest possible result, 80 degrees at 80 seconds, and then pull the tea bag out and enjoy. And I think you'll find quite a difference. So
now, is that different than some teas that have green tea in them? Would that still apply to those, or is it just specific to green tea?
No, as long as the base is green tea. So even these guys, like you have the boost, I have the antiox, which is tropical green with, I have vitamin C in mine, 25% of my daily needs. So when I would do this, I would make sure, so different ways to get your water to 80 degrees. Wait, or have a special kettle. or add a little bit of cold water, and then pop the tea bag in. And then, yeah, let it steep for the 80 seconds. Yeah, you don't want the water to be tepid. You want it to be hot, but just 80 degrees hot versus off boil hot.
Yeah. Wow. Now, when you get into, so let's go through the process, because I got to know how to do this right. So do you put the tea bag in before or after pour hot water on the tea bag? What's the process?
Water on the tea bag. Yeah. So take the boiling water or your 80-degree water and pour it on the tea bag. Allows those leaves to kind of tumble through the tea bag and get a beautiful brew.
So what are some of the things that restaurants do wrong? Is it the temperature? Do they, obviously you want the customer to open the bag if it is an open one.
Yeah.
Is that the process? You don't want to come and then someone's already putting the tea in for you? What's the best practices in that of serving it? Or does it matter?
I think, so, I mean, let's say point in time forward. You're not touching the tea bag.
Good point.
You're bringing them this, or for our, we have both this kind of envelope product for our Orange Pico. We have another one that's drawstring. I don't know if you've ever seen that innovation, but yeah, so it allows for less mess at the table when you can pull the two tabs and let all the tea liquor, as it's properly called, go into the teacup after the brewing process is done, and then there's no drips, no mess. So yeah, you would be serving this with as hot possible water as you can get. Typically, there will be a side of milk, and that would typically be chilled. I mean, a lot of people have different preferences about their milk temperature and when it goes in. When it goes in is up to them. But the milk temperature, I mean, for again, hygiene and food safety, you're keeping it chilled.
Now, do you and that's the same preference of what you put in for sugar content as well, right? Like some people put honey, some people put sugar.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, typically a green tea will not like, I just think, I don't know, sugars and green tea doesn't go together. It's either served clear or with honey. Honey lemon green tea is one of our most popular flavors. Black tea is with whatever sweetener you want. It's typically, traditionally, sugar, but lots of people are using whichever sweeteners they want. So honey, some people prefer that. Stevia, erythritol.
Yeah. Whatever works.
So many options now.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome that we're talking to restaurants. One, I think the way the profitability of tea, and it's an area that gets lost all the time. Also, and I think operators don't even really need to charge a lot either, right? Still to make a good profit. Like you don't have to be up into that high specialty coffee price range to be able to offer them a hot beverage or something else in that format. Takeout.
And I think, yesterday we talked a bit about patio and iced tea, and we have a product that makes a gallon of iced tea and is perfect to have like an urn on the patio ready, of brewed product, and it's pennies a glass. It's the first glass that you serve pays for the whole product, and then everything else is profit. You add ice. It's highly profitable. It's ridiculous. It can be easy patio service. We have all kinds of solutions, and so it's great if people just take a look at our product offering through Sysco and see all of the solutions that we have. And we're also open to always creating solutions. We have the ability to go back to our manufacturing facilities and say, we have an opportunity and let's make something happen. So we're very flexible in that way.
That's awesome. So Jen, where do people find more information about Tetley? Website?
Yeah. So we have tetley.ca. It's very retail focused right now.
A lot of
So yeah,
ideas that operators can pull from, right?
yeah. So it would be great if people check that out. I mean, we've been very active on social media for the last few years, but especially during COVID. So, I mean, it would be great if people liked and followed our Facebook and Instagram pages. I also manage that area, so it would be awesome to have people following us there. We've been really just focused on making Canadians feel calm and connected during this time through that platform because we know it's hard for
That's
everyone,
awesome.
especially, the food service industry has been hit really hard.
That is awesome, Jen. Well, you know what? We're going to have you back a few times talking tea.
Yeah, with James Kenny, who is
Yes.
the National Food Service sales.
Surprise. We'll just keep
Yeah,
talking about tea through the summer. It's great.
yeah,
You know, I know
yeah,
it's an area that people are like, "Are you kidding me that we're going to talk about this?" It is such a great. First, it's a great product. It's great for you.
mhm,
There's opportunity for profit in it. We don't know much about it. I think we know little about it when it
yeah,
like there's so much to know about it. And what you and James have taught me just over this little bit is just phenomenal. And it's
yeah.
almost like I
And it's
find
a
tea,
highly millennial category. So when millennials are coming back to your restaurants,
yeah,
they are also going to be wanting tea. So like think about again what your consumer wants and that customer desire. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Jay, for giving us this time to talk about tea. And
well,
yeah,
you know what?
James is going to be
Well,
back.
I know I'm geeking out about tea, and
Yeah.
it's great to have you on our show. And it's just, I know it's an area that it's got to be. It's very similar to wine. We can talk all day about wine too.
James is
Um,
also a certified sommelier of tea.
I please,
So
next
so
2 minutes
he
later.
he has the expertise. He has the expert tasting. And then we also have Chef Graham Hayes, who
Yep,
is
we're
going to
gonna
be
have
on
that.
talking about how to do patio cocktails with
No,
tea.
like that's
And
insane. Like these are
yeah,
great ideas, just because it's something like you said that millennials and Gen Zs, which is primarily where we want to focus our energy, because they're about 65% of our target base for our
yeah,
restaurants to go after.
yeah.
They're probably fueling these boosts, and they're probably fueling a lot
They
of
are.
the
I mean,
most ingredients.
Starbucks and
Yeah,
their different teas and their cold tea beverages have the kids all drinking tea.
yeah.
My Ava, your Maya, we're coming after them.
Yeah, we're gonna get so well. You know what? It's great, Jen, and thanks again so much for being on our show today. And I can't wait to have you back. Can't wait to have Chef back on there. We have a tea panel discussion too with Master.
Yeah.
Is it Master Teers? Like, how do you say that? Is it we're
Uh,
the Master Tea guys?
the Master Tea blenders,
Master Tea
and
blenders.
Master Tea tasters. But yeah, I
Master Tea.
mean,
Like it's crazy. It's amazing. Awesome
mhm.
stuff. Thanks
Yeah.
again, Jen. You know what?
Oh, thank you.
It's people are commenting here that the um is the super herbal boost peach ginger and dandelion is the best. So
Yeah, we have it in a food service format. People will want it. They'll look for it. So yeah, get your string and tag, boost,
that's
immune.
awesome.
This has been like out of stock in retail, out of
Yeah,
stock. But we have
yeah.
food service product.
That's awesome, Jen. Not to have a commercial, but it is great. And thanks so much, Jen. For everyone
Thanks,
else,
Jay.
continue to like and to watch our shows. We're going to bring more and more. We have a great lineup again next week. We have Maple Leaf coming back, Unilever, as well as Campbell's going to be bringing back recipes. So really recipe based next week. And then we have more and more. I think, honestly, we're booked till the end of summer with more ideas and more shows that are going to be coming up for us. And I hope we are bringing good value to you folks out there, and to be able to watch these shows right off your phone. You don't have to go anywhere. You can sit on your couch, enjoy it. And we're going to bring cool people like Jen back, and we're going to learn more about tea. And it's been around since when? 1830s.
Kelly?
Yeah,
1837. Yeah.
1837. Like, it's crazy. We weren't even in the country,
Yeah.
I don't think.
180 plus years. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So awesome stuff. Thanks again, Jen. And we'll
Thank
sign
you,
off.
Jay.
And everyone else, thanks
Yeah.
so much for your time today. And
Thanks, everyone.
learn more about Tetley Tea. Awesome. Thanks, Jen.
Awesome. Thank you, Jay. Bye.